Back at the Beach House Grill and the Coors Light Steve Fairchild Coaches Show here on a Wednesday night. Brian Roth back with you with the coach, Steve Fairchild. Rams coming off that big 43-10 victory over UNLV. Well, let's go back to the phone lines and welcome in Bill from Fort Collins. Good evening, Bill.
Yes, how are you this evening?
I'm doing good, Bill.
Yes, my question, Coach, has to do with our passing game. Until this last game with UNLV, at least from the fans' perspective, it didn't seem like we really had a vertical passing game. And I'm going to use the definition of vertical being where the quarterback throws the ball at least 20 yards past the line of scrimmage. I think in the first 6 games, we averaged, I think, 1 pass play that by definition would be a vertical passing game. So my question is this: for the rest of the season, are we going to see a more wide-open vertical passing game? Or I hope we're not going to see what we did the first 6 games of the season.
Well, here's the first thing about the passing game is we design our schemes based on coverage. So when you look at the opening ball game against CU, or you in particularly you look at the Air Force game, there's no way, shape, or form we're going to get the ball down the field just based on the coverage. So what you hope is at that point in time you function well enough underneath, you can run the football because the safeties are deep, and other aspects of your offense can take advantage of the way they're playing you. So, you know, and we've had our struggles offensively all year. We just haven't been able to capitalize on the way teams are playing us. But if a team will play with safeties low and commit to our running game, then obviously we can get the ball down the field. If a team plays with safeties back, you know, it's a little difficult to get those 20-yard throws, but you hope your run game takes over and you hope you're able to function in the passing game underneath. So a lot of it is based on what they do and how they play us. But we certainly would prefer to throw the ball down the field. We're not a spread offense. We're not going to try to, you know, nickel and dime you in the passing game if we don't have to. You know, but again, the book on us is we're going to try to throw it down the field. So you got to react to what the defense does.
Okay, well, thanks for your comments, and good luck against Utah.
All right, thanks, Bill.
Thank you very much, Bill. Appreciate that. Well, we're running a bit behind. We'll take a time out here. More to come with Steve Fairchild following this. Live at the Beach House Grill, Fort Collins, Colorado. Elliott Sports, Colorado State Sports Network. Welcome back to the Coors Light Steve Fairchild Coaches Show here on the Colorado State Sports Network. Live at the Beach House Grill in Old Town Fort Collins. Well, Frontier, proud sponsors of CSU football, fly Frontier to more than 70 cities across the U.S., Mexico, and Costa Rica. And for the best values in the air, be sure to book your next trip at FrontierAirlines.com. Well, here we are. We're almost 3/4 of the way through the show. We haven't even talked about your next opponent, so let's get on it. The 9th-ranked Utes. Well, there's no rest for the weary for you guys. I mean, you know, it's TCU, it's Air Force, then you get UNLV where you played well, but now it's on the road at a top 10 team.
Yeah, Utah's, their program, I think, was very similar to CSU in the 90s. It seemed like we were always kind of battling them for the conference championship, and back when Coach McBride was there, and then Urban Meyer took over, and now Kyle Whittingham. And Kyle's done a tremendous job the 6 or so whatever years he's been the head football coach there. They've gotten better. Their recruiting's gotten better. And, you know, when you look at their football team, they just do not have a bad player somewhere. You know, and football's a game of matchups. You're always trying to find a defensive back that you like your receiver against, or an offensive lineman blocking one of their guys that you like. And when you analyze their team, they've got talented players everywhere. In fact, you start to look at their 6th, 7th, 8th defensive linemen coming into the game, and they're a guy you'd like to have on your team. So he's done a nice job, and they're across the board, they're very talented. They're good on special teams. They're experienced, and they're well coached. So it'll be a good measuring stick for us on the road. You
know, I'm glad you brought up Ron McBride. I talked to friends, and they have this misconception that it was Urban Meyer that put that program on the map. But in reality, Steve, don't you agree? I mean, it was Ron McBride who built the foundation for Utah.
Back when we were with Sonny, like I said, and you know, I'll never forget that game there in '94. We were a top 20 team. They were a top 20 team, and we had 40,000 people out there at Hughes and played it all the way down to the 4th quarter. And I still, as a graduate of this university and a fan of CSU football, whether I'm the head coach or not, that is what should go on every Saturday out there at Hughes. Now, I understand it's our job to put the product on the field, but that's the way it should be. But getting back to Ron McBride, he's done a tremendous coach, done a great job. He got that program rolling And then Urban took over, and then obviously Kyle's done a tremendous job since he's taken over.
And it should be said that the administration there at Utah have really stepped up, and the facilities are nice as well.
And you look at their program, they were clawing. We were winning the conference championship. They were clawing to catch us, and they were doing things to resource that program that probably we weren't doing here at CSU for a while. I'll tell you another thing that really helped them was having the Olympics there.
Yeah.
Because when you put the Olympics there, then the infrastructure and some of the things that go along with that really was a plus for their athletic program. And then when you do anything like that over a period of time, and we're doing it here now. I mean, I can't say enough about what Dr. Frank and Paul Kowalczyk are doing. But you got to do it over a period of time, and you got to watch it grow step by step. And I'm confident we're doing that here, and we're doing the right things. We just got to continue to go. They've been doing it there for 15, 20 years.
Well, we'll talk more specifically about the Utes on offense and defense, kind of some of your plans going into that contest. But first, we'll give you a break. We want to get to the two student athletes that are here. Tyson Liggett, senior wideout, and Alex Williams, the linebacker. They're in the house. We're going to have them join us here. And then Steve will come back at the end of the show, and we'll wrap it up with more Utah talk. All that and more coming up next. We're live at the Beach House Grill here in Old Town Fort Collins for the Coors Light Steve Fairchild Coaches Show. Back at the Beach House Grill here in Old Town Fort Collins, the Coors Light Steve Fairchild Coaches Show. A few segments left here, and it's always the time of the program. We like to bring on a student athlete to join us here in the program, and we have a couple in the house tonight. We open with the senior linebacker. That's Alex Williams out of Sidney, Nebraska, which isn't too far from Colorado, correct? That's near the border?
It's like 2 hours from here. Home of Cabela's, if anybody's heard of that.
That's right. Yeah. And that's right off the interstate there, right?
Yep.
Give us an idea. How did you go from Sidney, Nebraska to Fort Collins to be playing playing football with Colorado State?
Well, all the graduates usually from Sidney go to Lincoln and go and try and play for the Huskers or something like that. So I wanted to do something different, and so I decided to walk on at Colorado State, and I ended up earning a scholarship. So
yeah, it was a matter of going someplace and walking on to the Division I. Was it Division I that you wanted to play?
Yeah,
because I'm
definitely.
sure you had smaller school offers.
Yeah, definitely. I had a couple of Division II offers, but definitely wanted to try Division I. So.
Is that something that maybe you've carried with maybe a chip on your shoulder throughout your college career?
Yeah, definitely. It makes you keep coming to work every day and working harder and keep trying to earn the scholarship. So
yeah, because I mean, a lot of guys, once they get it set in their head that they're a Division I football player, that's just the way it is. You're going to go and you're going to make it happen. Did you ever have any setbacks here through the first few years because you didn't see the field through those first 3 years here?
Yeah, the first year redshirted, second year I played the last couple games in special teams, and then I was kind of debating on if I should come back the next year or not, and I ended up coming back and ended up working out good for me. So.
Well, I remember seeing you last year against Colorado, and all through fall camp, I was like, who is this Alex Williams that is moving up on that depth chart? You were kind of an unknown going into last season.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't play at all, so last year was my first game, so I guess that's expected.
Yeah, well, you came out, you had a good game against Colorado, and the rest is history. Yeah, you haven't been off the field. How about this season? You guys started off so slow, but boy, after a win like you had last week, it seems as if things are starting to turn around for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Idaho game helped, and last week with all the helps people with experience and everything and get going, and now we're going to get rolling. So,
not only was it a win against UNLV, you guys thumped them pretty good.
Yeah.
How much does that play into the confidence factor now, knowing not only did you win, but you went out and hammered somebody?
Yeah, it definitely helps us a lot, and it also helps with the younger guys, getting them some reps at the end of the game, and gets their confidence built up too.
Yeah. You guys gave up a few yards against Air Force. What was the key coming from that game into this game against UNLV? Because you guys only gave up 274 total yards.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing is just be more disciplined. Some guys didn't read their keys or weren't with the right guy on some of the Air Force plays, so just being more disciplined, and which we ended up doing. So.
Well, you have Utah coming up on Saturday. Kind of give us an idea. What do you expect from their offense? They average nearly 46 points a game.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely look very good on film. Expect them to run the ball a lot and also throw the ball. So.
Yeah. Looking forward to playing in a hostile environment?
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. A top 10 team, you look forward to this kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. All right, before we let you go, you are your fifth year here in Fort Collins.
Yep.
You are graduating in December.
Yep.
You're only taking one class.
Yeah, actually worked out good. I could have graduated in the spring and ended up taking one more class for eligibility, so it's pretty nice. Yeah.
Boy, that sounds fantastic. Basically, you play football then.
Yeah, football and a lot of film, yeah.
What are the plans after you graduate?
I actually might be going to Costa Rica in January for a little
Sounds
bit,
good.
for a little vacation.
Frontier Airlines flies there.
Exactly, and then hopefully find a job in real estate. So.
Okay, well, hey, thanks so much. Yeah. Continued success here in your senior year.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's Alex Williams, senior linebacker from Sidney, Nebraska. We'll have Tyson Liggett, wide receiver, coming up next from Elegant Sports in the Colorado State Sports Network. Couple more segments left here on the program. Coors Light Steve Fairchild Coaches Show live tonight for the Beach House Grill in Fort Collins. Tyson Liggett, senior wide receiver from Lyman, Colorado, joining us on the program. Tyson, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tyson is a guy that walked on just as well as Alex did, and give us kind of an idea of what it was like coming out of high school for you. Just none of the big schools wanted you, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. I got a couple offers of little schools, but just like Alex, I wanted to try to come out and play at D1, with the best players in the nation. So they gave me an opportunity to walk on, and it's been good so far.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a more storied high school athletic program in the state than the Badgers of Lyman.
Yeah.
You guys won a few games down there, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We won a couple games here and there. So
take us through the high school resume.
Well, we went undefeated my sophomore, junior, and senior year. So
in football?
Yep, in football.
You didn't lose a single game in high school football from your sophomore year on?
Correct.
Now, you were a quarterback as well, huh?
Yep.
So give me an idea, I guess, going from quarterback to wide receiver. How big of a transformation was that?
Oh, you don't really realize it, but it's totally different. It took me a while to get used to it. People just think you run around and catch the ball, but there's a lot more to it. And coming from quarterback, it's a different view, that's for sure.
Now, have you been in Coach Fairchild's ear at all, saying, "Listen, I can run the Wildcat"?
No, I haven't, but I should. They let me throw a couple passes today in practice, so I don't know.
There you go. T.J. Borkey's lined up as a Wildcat. John Mosier is lined up as a Wildcat. We should see Tyson Liggett. We'll get on Coach about that after the program. Now, it was not only football, though, for you at Lyman High School. You were, baseball? Mm-hmm. Basketball? How many state championships did you win in baseball and basketball?
We won one in baseball, and then we didn't win any in basketball. We won 2 in track. So.
2 in track?
Yep.
So what is that, a total of 5 state championships for you in high school?
6.
6 state championships.
Yep.
Okay, that's right, 6, because it was 3 in football.
Yep.
And you were a heck of a basketball player, though.
I held my own, I guess.
57 points, right?
Yep.
57 points in a single high school basketball game. You were a shoot first point guard, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to embarrass you like that. I read that I had heard of you in high school, and I knew you were an exceptional athlete. And good to see you get some playing time late in your career, just like Alex, and took advantage of it. Kind of take us back to that BYU game last year. I think, 11 receptions in the game. It was kind of your coming out party.
Yeah. A couple things went wrong, and they asked me to go in there and, try to help the team. And I just went out and, did what I usually do, just go out and work hard and just do what they asked of me. And, things worked out that day, and it was a good game.
All right, you guys get Utah coming up on the road at a top 10 team. What are your thoughts going into the contest?
Yeah, they're a real tough team. Their defense is really good, really talented. Their defensive backfield is great. So we're going to have a big test in front of us, but it should be a fun game. You graduate in May. What are the plans after that? Well, I haven't really figured it out yet. Just kind of day by day. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. That's a good way to be. Tyson Liggett, senior wide receiver from Lyman, Colorado. Heck of a high school athlete, a Colorado legend. All right, one final segment with the coach Steve Fairchild after this from Elegant Sports and the Colorado State Sports Network. Final segment here on the Coors Light Steve Fairchild Coaches Show for the Beach House Grill in Fort Collins, Colorado. The coach rejoins us here. Steve, I think I embarrassed Tyson a little bit there. He's a heck of a high school athlete, and he's turned into a heck of a wide receiver for you guys.
Oh, he's done a great job, and but he is telling us what a great basketball player he is, and I think he's overrating himself a little bit in that regard. So. I don't know, 57 points in a game. Another guy that was a very good basketball player in high school was Momo Thomas. I'm curious,
Momo and Tyson Liggett going one-on-one. I'm not sure who wins that.
After the year, we'll clear out Moby and go one-on-one. I don't know. Tyson probably.
That's
what
right.
I'm going to say.
You know, talk about these two guys, because they're guys that didn't get looks from any of the big schools.
Well,
they go and walk on, and here they are getting significant playing time.
Yeah, both were in the program when I took over as a head football coach, and you know, both just come to practice every day and were productive and worked hard and did the right thing, not just in our football program, but in school and just the way they held themselves. And you know, I know Alex was playing on special teams, and you could tell he was going to end up being our starting middle linebacker, so we put him on scholarship. And Tyson obviously was playing at receiver and had the big game against BYU, and he earned it. You know, that guys that do that, you know, I just think it's a tremendous achievement in their life, and it shows what type of people they are and how successful they're going to be beyond football, because they don't have it easy. You know, they've got to come here and pay their way and you know, create their opportunity, and these guys both did it and earned scholarships, and you know, now they're Division I football players starting for Colorado State. So it's a great story.
Well, again, the Rams take on Utah coming up on Saturday afternoon, Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City. The Utes, 9th-ranked team in the nation. Steve, how about Jordan Wynn, their quarterback? And at any time last year, were you watching him saying maybe Pete Thomas can have the same kind of growth as Jordan Wynn?
Yeah, we were well aware of Jordan Wynn. In fact, he and Pete are both from San Diego, and Jordan came out a year earlier, and we recruited Jordan, as did, you know, CU and Utah and everybody. And he ended up at Utah. He did what Pete did. He graduated high school early, so he was there the January prior to his freshman season. And the difference, Jordan went through spring ball, but he did not start for Utah. They gave him 5, 6, 7 games to break him in, and then he became the starter and obviously had the big bowl game last year. Pete, we kind of threw into the fire right off the bat at CU, but very similar stories. Both kids, like I said, from San Diego, both good quarterbacks.
Well, you guys played Utah very tough in Fort Collins last year. In fact, you're up 17-3 with under 5 minutes to go in the third. You lose 24-17. Is that a hard game to go back and look at and watch film on?
It was very disappointing to watch that game again. And you just look back to our 2009 season, and it starts with me. We just did not finish some games out, and that was a perfect example. But, you know, give them their due. They're a good football team. They found a way to make more plays than we did, and they deserve to win that game. But, you know, we'll get another crack at them here Saturday.
You know, I was reading in their game notes that they rotate as many as 12 defensive linemen. I mean, that is almost unheard of depth.
Unbelievable. And you get to the 12th, and he's a very, very good player. And good defenses start up front, and, you know, we're getting there. We're getting there, but they certainly have got a lot of depth and a lot of talent in their defensive line.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, you know, we're talking about Tyson and Alex. 2 of their 3 starting linebackers are former walk-on guys.
No question. And, you know, and that's the way it's going to be. You're not going to bat 1,000 recruiting, and you're going to make some mistakes. And just getting some guys, good young guys in your program to walk on and give it a shot's a vital component to having a good roster.
Well, this is a defense. Talk about it as a whole, because they have been outstanding. They held Wyoming to just 67 yards rushing. What would be some of the keys for you guys offensively?
Well, last 2 years we've been able to pound them a little bit running, not run them out of the stadium, but we've been able to establish somewhat of a run game, and that is absolutely key, because we do not want them to tee off on our quarterback. We've got to keep that balance offensively. And then defensively, I think if we just tackle well and keep the ball in front of us, we're capable of hanging in there with them.
Yeah, it's been a while since you guys have gone on the road, but it might be the most hostile environment you've gone into.
Yeah, they've got
a
nice little setting there, and it'll get loud. In fact, we'll go into our indoor facility and practice with noise tomorrow.
Yep. All right, Steve, congratulations on the win last week, and we'll talk to you coming up on Saturday. Best of luck.
Thank you very much. It's been great.
That's the coach, Steve Fairchild, and that's going to wrap up our program here on Wednesday night. Remember, we are here every Wednesday evening from 6:30 to 7:30 at the Beach House Grill here in Old Town Fort Collins. Ask you to come on out, stop by, and join us every Wednesday evening. That'll do it for Charlie Grimes back at Master Control, our engineer Bob Greenfield, and the coach, Steve Fairchild. I'm Brian Roth saying so long here from the Beach House Grill, where you've been listening to the Coors Light Steve Fairchild Coaches Show.